Hey grade 1, welcome to our science lesson 3 on space and technology. This is the last lesson that we have to do in this section before we do our mini assessment. So the first things first that we're going to do is we're going to be looking at this sheet. This sheet we need to answer the first 3 questions like we always do. So my first 3 questions here, we need to read each sentence. Do we think it's true or not true? Okay, so question number 1 says, stars do not move across the night sky. Is that true or not true? So take your best guess. Number 2 says Earth moves around the sun. Is that true or not true? And then lastly, question number 3 says the moon gives off light. Is that true or not true? So take your best guess for all of these. If you don't get it right, that's okay. We're going to just see what we know. So here in the textbook, we're looking at lesson 3, which is what is in the night sky. So I'm going to read along. You can follow with me. So here we have, you may see stars in the night sky. So those stars give off light. Stars seem to move across the night sky. So Earth is a planet. We know that Earth's a planet. We live on a planet. And these planets don't give off light. So Earth doesn't give off light. Planets move around the sun. So we move around the sun. So you might use a telescope to see things in the sky. So there's a little picture at the bottom. It shows a telescope. So a telescope makes things that are far away look closer. So it makes things look brighter or bigger. So if any of you have a telescope, I want you to look in the night sky, if you can, and see what you see. Things are going to look a lot brighter. You're going to see things that you maybe wouldn't have seen just without using that telescope. All right, so we know that the Earth does not give off any light. And we know that stars do give off light in the sky. So I'm just going to look over on the side here. It says stars look tiny because they're far away. So it's the same example that we did with our hands on Zoom. We also did it with the paper plate in the classroom. The further away you are from something, the smaller it looks. But if we were to be right in front of a star, it would look way bigger than it does from where we are on Earth. Here it says Saturn, Mars, and Venus are planets. Sometimes you can see those planets in the night sky. So you could see those planets because they are very large. So here we're going to talk a little bit about the moon. So let's see if some of your moon facts that you wrote about in your little story are true. Or maybe they're not so true. But here it says the moon moves around the Earth. So the moon is what moves, okay? The moon looks small because it is far away. Just like our stars, we're so far away from it that it looks so small. The moon is round, which we know. It kind of looks like a massive gray ball. So here it shows 3 different phases of our moon. Sorry, not 3. We have 4 different phases of our moon. I didn't see that there. 4 different phases. So this is what the moon looks like at different times. And this is why. So this can get a little tricky, but I think the more you listen to it, the easier it will be. So here it says, the sun's light shines on the moon. You only see the part of the moon lit by the sun. The part of the moon lit by the sun changes each night. The moon looks a little different each night. The moon looks the same again about every 29 days. So since the sun is its center, okay, the sun is the center. The Earth moves around the sun, but also the moon moves around the Earth. So when the sun's light is shining on the moon, you might only see part of the moon lit by the sun. So it changes each night because of our rotation and because of the moon's rotation around us as well, and around the sun. So each night you might look and say, oh, the moon looks a little bit different today. We might have a half moon. We might have a full moon. We could have any type of looking moon like we have up there. But after 29 full days, the moon is going to look the exact same as it did on day 1 as it will day 29. Okay? So hopefully that helps a little bit. I know this is a little tricky, this piece, but it's just important to know that the moon won't always look the same. Each night it's going to look different, but after 29 days, it goes through another cycle. And we talk a lot about cycles. So we're going to go back to our sheet and we're going to do the after you read lesson 3. Okay? So we're going to answer the same 3 questions again, except this time you now know the information because you read it and I read it to you. So here we have question number 1. Stars do not move across the night sky. Is that true or not true? Number 2 says Earth moves around the sun. Is that true or not true? And question number 3 says the moon gives off light. Is that true or not true? We're going to move on to this last page now. This is our last activity that we have to do. And it's kind of similar to all the other ones that we've been doing. So here at the top we have our word bank. So we have to write the word that completes each sentence. So in our word bank we have planet, moon, light, and telescope. So question number 1 says the Earth is called a blank. Is it called a planet, a moon, a light, or a telescope? Question number 2 says you can use a blank to see things in the night sky. Number 3 says the blank is in the sky, but it's not like the Earth. And lastly, question number 4 says the blank from the sun can help us see things in the sky. All right, so your last task here is under important details. It's question number 5, and it says you're going to write 2 important details about what is in the sky. So I want you to look at the night sky. You can go back in the video and you can look at some of the images and some of the writing. Write about 2 important details about what's in the sky. So what do you see in the sky? What are some super cool facts you might have learned today? Anything that you know about the sky at night, preferably, okay? So if there's any questions, feel free to contact me on Edsby. I'm here to help you. There's also my Zoom call, so if you want to work on Zoom, you're more than welcome to. I'd love to have some of your faces there. So yeah, thank you for joining me, and I'll talk to you all soon. Have fun. Bye-bye.